Quick thoughts on my trip to Nashville, which I took a couple weeks ago with my mom and sister. We had a pretty good time. This is the Grand Old Opry. We had a great time until we got kicked out. Here's a picture of it. Next, we went to Backstage Nashville, which is a pretty cool venue. It has a lot of the Nashville songwriters performing their songs. I recommend visiting. They also have pretty good food. I enjoyed what I heard, but it was a little bit more calm and slow than some of the downtown stuff. Speaking of downtown, did you know a bomb happened on 2020 on Christmas? Pretty crazy stuff. Here's some video of like what was destroyed. Apparently it was a suicide bomber. Next, we went to a place to go get food. There's a lot of food courts around. After that, we went to the Johnny Cash Museum. I was a big fan. Here's their YouTube plaque. Johnny Cash is a pretty cool individual, and here's a couple photos of it. There's his outfits themselves. There's a bunch of big murals, as well as some definition of like the Tennessee 2, who was his group early on, and actually for quite a while. The stand-up bass was awesome. There's a couple different angles along with an amp and a guitar that was used. I'm a pretty big guitar person if you didn't know. That's actually his birth certificate, and then there's just a bunch of information from there, like certified birth certificate. There's his future farmer's card. That's more pictures of him when he was decently young. This is talking about his life when he was growing up, as well as some photos of just his childhood. Interesting stuff for me to see, especially. Next, we got some more outfits. That's when he was actually in the military, the Air Force specifically, as well as like a dive into some of that military background, a bit of his service. That's a breakdown of the prison system that he was going to, San Quentin shows and all of that. That's one of his guitars, and I love how a lot of those country artists have like the name of them on their guitars. There's some more photos of some interesting things. Let's see if you could read them quick enough. That's the Folsom outfit. Actually, there's a bunch of records and plaques. That's another medal. I believe this is one of his Grammys. It says it there. Then there's some history of Sun Records. Johnny Cash, I Walk the Line. You know, that's a pretty big one. Another photo that I thought was just awesome. This is a tea set that he had in his house. From there, it's actually some of his drawings. Did you know Johnny Cash was an artist? And I'll be honest, I feel like I could draw a couple of these, though this piece was pretty awesome in my opinion. And then Skinny Mouse or Slim Mouse, that was cool. Finally, that's his ring. It had a cross. He was very religious.